in here, and Davis Wallace, since you got cut off with Coach, we'll get you started first.
Oh, man.
All right. Thanks, Garrison. Davis, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Garrison, I was just wondering, how is the preparation different for a NCAA tournament game than it is for like a big game in the ACC or the AC tournament?
Of course, it's a lot more focus for the first game because you don't have as many days. Well, you have a lot more days to prepare. I think that it's just a lot more time. You get a lot more depth scout, and I think it's good for our team.
Greg Barnes, then CL.
Hey, Garrison. There's a little bit of a difference between how Roy views this team's defense and what the stats say. You're a defensive guy. So just curious, how do you think the team has come along in recent weeks in terms of defense?
Personally, I think we're really good on defense. We have some really great moments. One of the better defensive teams I've been a part of, but we also have some bad moments, the ones he's always thinking about.
Thanks.
CL, then Ralph Russo.
Garrison, how different has, I know it's still early, but how different has this NCAA experience been compared to 2019 when you guys were in the tournament? I mean, do you get to have any fun? Is it pretty much just, you practice, you go to your room?
That's pretty much it. I think the fun is being here. I think that's fine.
Ralph Russo, then Dina King.
Hey, Garrison, playing off of what CL just asked, this season has been kind of tough. I mean, has it at all made you think about like what the players receive, what the players are worth, what you're worth? I mean, they ask you to do all these like very difficult things to get through this season and play all these games. Has it given you any thought of like, boy, like, do we get enough credit? Do we get enough compensation and things along those lines?
I mean, of course, I don't think players in America are gonna get enough credit. Because you realize players like had to sacrifice a lot of things to be able to compete this year. I think that's something that everybody should thank college athletes for this year, and kind of being compensated. I mean, it's all what you think. Everybody pretty much think different things. If you ask each player probably should think like, hey, like I don't really need anything. Like I enjoy playing the game, but some people think they should be paid, and that's fine too.
Dina King, then Jared Fialko.
Garrison, Coach talked about getting on a bus and driving up to Purdue. What's your thoughts on getting on that and traveling 75 miles to practice and now play?
Yeah, it's fine. We driving to Lafayette, so I mean I'm kind of excited. But it's a different Lafayette for me, but it's something we just got to do. I mean, we didn't choose it. We didn't choose this to drive that far, but we're gonna have to play there, so we might as well get used to it.
Hey, G, hate to break it to you. It may be Lafayette in Alabama, son, but it's Lafayette in Indiana.
Garrison, Jordan Cornette tweeted yesterday about how some coaches said the conditions there are less than ideal. The food's cold. Just wondering if, by your perspective, if the food has reached like Fire Fest levels of like cheese sandwich.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But I'm not gonna complain. So I think the food is fine.
Ross Martin, then Kip Coons.
Yeah, I mean, building on that kind of stuff. I mean, what are you all doing with your time? I mean, you're playing card games, your team building stuff, movies. You have tons of time to kill. What are y'all doing, and what's it kind of like?
Yeah, I watch plenty of movies. So I pretty much been in my room just watching movies. Dude's been playing cards in the hallway. I mean, so it's pretty much been kind of just hanging out in the hallway, not been in each other's rooms. But I mean, everybody pretty much doing their own thing.
Kip.
Yeah, Garrison, I know this is really different this year for you, and you're one of the few guys on the team who has NCAA experience. Have you been able to tell, your freshman teammates especially, and actually the sophomores too, because they missed out last year, this is what to expect? I've been here before, and this is what we have to do, and just, to prepare in any way you can.
Yeah, I was talking to Mondo about it yesterday. It's like scout wise, like, hey, like we're gonna start preparing now. He was like, dang, like it's pretty early for us to start scouting. I was like, well, like we have to win our first game, so it makes sense. So I think it's a different experience for pretty much the young guys, something that I've already experienced and expected.
Josh Graham, then Tom Shanahan.
Since you bring up the movies, I've got to know what movies you've been watching. And are you a movie guy?
Most definitely movie guy. Yesterday watched Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. So that pretty much took up the whole day. So I mean, I pretty much love movies. That's my thing.
It's a high-level press conference we got going here. Tom Shanahan.
Hey, Garrison, coming to a school like North Carolina as a freshman, it would be easy to take it for granted you're going to be in the NCAA. You missed it last year. It wasn't for sure this year. Can you talk about the satisfaction of just being back in the tournament and appreciating this moment?
Yeah, it's great. Luckily, I wasn't one of those people that took anything for granted. Didn't take my freshman year for granted. Never took my sophomore year for granted because it was so fun. We were winning a ton of games. So I just never always lived in the moment, enjoyed everything. So I didn't overthink anything. I enjoyed it all. I can say that. I never took it for granted.
How does it feel to be back?
Oh, it's awesome. Something that some of our teams worked so hard for. And you see that we made it on Selection Sunday. You see the excitement in everybody's faces and just the opportunity to play again.
Mark Armstrong, then Mike Solarte.
Garrison, the stat that follows your coach around is that he's never lost in the first round. How important do you think that is to him? He can get to 30-0 this year if you guys manage that on Friday.
Nah, man, that's great. Something we just hope to keep going. That's all I can pretty much say about that.
Got time for two last questions with Garrison. Mike Solarte, then Kiera.
Garrison, because the time you guys are spending away from each other and in your rooms and you're watching, movie after movie after movie and all those things, when you think about it, every team wants to win the national championship, but is this year's champ, whoever it may be, going to be viewed as maybe the most remarkable given the circumstances of the isolation and the quarantining and the bubble nature of what's going on there?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this year's national champion will be the most determined because you think back all the way to July when they came back to school. You think about how much everybody had to sacrifice. So I think that the team that wins will be the most determined.
Last question for Garrison. Kiera.
Hey, Garrison, I have a really fun question for you. So I heard that Dwight was your favorite character from The Office. What qualities of Dwight are necessary to win a basketball game?
Critical thinking, competitiveness, and
You got to form some type of allegiance here.
I can't. He didn't work too well with others, so I can't say that. Him being tactical, because him always thinking ahead, trying to always beat. What's his name?
Jim.
I was about to call him by his real name, John, but him just always being competitive, trying to be one step ahead. That's what we can use from Dwight. Everyone.
Outstanding, Garrison. Thank you.